The presentation will be, of course, with a much more specific item than the ones we were discussing just a moment ago. But in a way, it links well because it is about a European process that at the moment, since 2 or 3 years, is also at the center of attention in other world regions. And so it's one of the instances in which something coming from Europe is one of the issues discussed also in other regions. So I'll try to make very shortly a sort of history of the Bologna process and focus on the main features, and to just mention which kind of developments it is having in the global setting. This is this first thing to remember, it is a European process. Just take my watch. But it is not a European Union process. It has been supported in a way, and the European Union has been and is involved in some ways, but it is a process which is much wider than the European Union. So this is one of the, and it witnesses a very quick growth in about 10 years. What I would like to do, if you agree, is just to go very quickly through the slides with the main facts about the process, and then perhaps we can go back to some main points if we have the time and if Professor Dominguez allows it. So let's just start 1 year before the Bologna process. Of course, the political dynamics would be too long to examine, but just mention the fact that this process developed around, let's say, the year 2000, so around the Lisbon strategy. It was interactive with the Lisbon strategy. In 1998, there was a so-called Sorbonne Declaration signed by only 4 European countries, France, Italy, and United Kingdom and Germany. And the title of this declaration, aiming to some sort of coordination between higher education systems in Europe, was harmonization of the architecture of the European higher education system. This fact gave rise to a lot of hostility because, as you probably know, the idea of a harmonization of educational systems in Europe has long been fought because of the, let's say, need to preserve diversity and identity of cultural national systems and, generally speaking, national cultures. So harmonization was a word that was dropped, and the year after, the process already had a much stronger development, and 29 countries signed in Bologna the declaration, and this is the starting of the really of what we call the Bologna process. And the aim was to create by 2010, so you see that the same year of the Lisbon strategy, a coherent and cohesive European higher education area. Well, what was the meaning of this area? How to create this area? There were some points. The idea was to adopt, the first point is the main one, a system of easily readable and comparable degrees. The other, let's say, that are conditioned in order to adopt this system, so the 2 main cycles with undergraduate and graduate, which was not the case in every European country, to establish a system of credits in order to make more readable and comparable the kind of courses given by European universities, to promote mobility by overcoming legal recognition and administrative obstacles, promote European cooperation in quality assurance, and promote a European dimension in higher education. As I say, I go quickly because some points are more important, some are less, but then I'll come back to something. Each 2 years, the ministers of higher education, responsible for higher education of the European countries, met since 1999 up to 2007 in London, and the next meeting will be in 2009 in Leuven in Belgium. In each meeting, some new countries joined the process, so that it started with 29 and now there are 46. So virtually every European country, including the Holy See, is involved in the Bologna process. So we have Prague in 2001, Berlin in 2003, Bergen in 2005, and London in 2007. In this different meetings, the process widened in the sense that new items were included, namely in Prague the lifelong learning and the students, the involvement of students, and widened and in a way deepened in the sense that some specific traits were underlined. And here you see that the promotion of the attractiveness of the European higher education area was underlined, which means something that is, let's say, addressed to the other areas of the world. The attractiveness of the European higher education area towards different non-European countries. In Berlin, there was, the important thing was to set an intermediate deadline and to start the stock-taking process, meaning it's very well to add and to widen and to deepen, but the point is, what are we doing on that? So it was stressed the importance to have a follow-up group and stock-taking reports every 2 years.